Okay, so today we're going to go through the process for importing SDR lists to create campaigns in Salesforce. So the first thing that you need to do is set up your campaign. So it needs to be beneath a parent campaign. So there's prospecting campaigns in Salesforce. There's a global prospecting campaign, which is tied with parent. Then there are also regional campaigns. And beneath, this is one for APAC. So beneath the APAC SDR prospecting parent campaign, we want to create a child campaign. So we could probably just quickly choose one of these that's been set up correctly, then duplicate it and edit it. So we'll clone it and then just make the changes that we need to make. So the date is year, month. So this is February 02. And it's APAC is the region, ANZ is the sales region, because I know that the data has Australia as the country. Prospecting. This one is actually health industry, pod industry. And Will has called it the pharma campaign, so I'm just going to put pharma in there. So we've used outbound calling, and we've ensured that we've got the correct parent. The campaign is in progress and active. If there was a spend behind it, then you would add that in here. So here we'll go save and new. Okay. So then here we have our new campaign name, so you copy that. And this becomes your campaign taxonomy. And then we jump into Pardot. So there's a couple of things that you need in Pardot. Firstly, you need to set up a list. So we go under lists. Because when we import the data, we'll be adding it into the list. Add a list. And paste that name that we've copied. And that goes under SDRs and sales activation and lists. And you can also, if you want to be able to assign people to this list from Salesforce, you can also say allow prospects to be assigned from the CRM. And then you also want to have a linked campaign. The reason that it's so important to link up Pardot and Salesforce campaigns is because all of their browsing behavior across the entire internet, so Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything that these people do as humans, individuals across the internet, that data is collected by Pardot. And the other really important thing that Pardot does is Pardot can find that person regardless of whether they are a lead or a contact or a platform user. Pardot can check through the entire Salesforce database and ensure that there's not any other duplicates, because duplicates do break kind of tracking, scoring, and automation tools. So now what we've done, we have a campaign in Salesforce and we have a campaign in Pardot. We'll just grab that. Here it is. It's saved in the right place, which is under SDRs, lists. And we're going to then edit it. Now it can take a few minutes for Salesforce to talk to Pardot, So coming soon, you will also have the additional option to connect up your Pardot campaign to your Salesforce campaign. So this will be the Pardot campaign. You would just say edit, connect to CRM campaign, and then connect up the name here. So CRM is Salesforce, saving it in the right place. But we've actually got this switched off right now. It will be ready once we've managed to clean up all of the campaigns and connect them all. Okay, so once this has been created, make sure we've got the name of it, and now we're actually going to go look at our data. So data has to be imported in CSV format. So we'll download as a CSV. If you do a CSV, it can only extract one sheet. Okay. You'll actually have to open using Excel. Open with Excel. And then you have to make sure that all of the fields are completed. So in this case, it needs to be, so with the assigned to, needs to be an actual ansarada.com email address. So add that in. Now, pod industry, these names have to match our actual chosen pod industry name. So in this case, we'll call it healthcare for now. And if that needs to be updated afterwards, then that can be done within the system. Lead source is prospecting. So that's an SDR owned lead source. If you have a look at, we've got an SDR page, sorry, we've got a page here in Confluence, which explains all of the lead sources. So prospecting is owned by SDRs. That's what we use for outbound lead generation. And in this case, the lead source 2, we know that the lead source 2 is LinkedIn. So we'll put that in as well into our data. So LinkedIn. Okay. Now the lead status, just have to double check. Okay. So in this case, it's an MQL. So if you want it to come in as like assigned kind of second tier priority, doesn't have to be jumped on immediately by someone else, SDR team, you'd put it as an MQL. In this case, Will is going to be working on it, and he knows to expect these. If it comes in as open, then it will go into the queue and other people may jump on them. So comments, SDR, Will. And we'll also put the campaign name in there. That will help for future. Okay, now with the new regions, there actually are new region fields. And so this one will become sales region. And we specify because it's Australia, it will be ANZ. And this APAC. Now the fields are actually new here, so they may not be able to sync. Okay, cool. So these are all of the minimum fields. Okay, save that. And we probably should actually save as the campaign name, because then you'll be able to see it in the list. Still a CSV. Save. Okay, so then we come in and have import prospects. Again, just confirming that the reason that we import from the Pardot side is because it links together the prospect record, so that tracks all of the human behavior, and it will connect to either the lead or the contact record, which we don't want duplicated in our system. So you want to update or create using email address because our data doesn't have a lead or a contact ID in there. We have to confirm that we're not spamming people and that we have a legitimate business reason and relationship with them. We have to give them the option to opt out and unsubscribe. So we're adding the data, CSV file. It's just processing. Okay. So it will try and match them. Company, first name, last name, job title, email, country. Region, what industry. This one is assigned to user. Comments. Okay, now here we choose the campaign. This one here. In this case, we are going to override the campaign for existing prospects. So if they're already a lead or already a contact, we will override them with their new campaign. So if you're in a consumer company, you probably wouldn't choose this option, but because we're in B2B, there's fewer campaigns and we're also much more targeted with them. So it does help us to keep track of what campaigns really impacted the behaviors of the prospects. Okay, so because we've already created the list, I'm going to import them and add to lists. And the list has exactly the same name. We will be notified by email when they're finished being imported, and then we'll come back and check them. So for future, it is really important that we put the campaign name, and it will immediately be able to be synced into the Salesforce campaign as well. But at this point in time, we do have to do a small workaround, which is we want to sync to Salesforce as an MQL using the Salesforce Active Assignment Rules. So we're just going to make a copy of this one that we used yesterday. New campaign name at the end. edit the automation rules. Okay. Sure there's no spaces at the start. And so what we're doing here, we won't need all of these. So we've already imported the country, so that's fine. We've already got the right industry, need that. And we've already imported the lead status, so we don't need that for this one. And what we do need just check here, make sure that we've got all of the new campaigns from Salesforce. This one here is the new one. Okay. Execute in real time and save. And 2. Here. Sent is the first status, responded means that they've taken an action. Okay, so this won't need to be done in future, but at this point, because we don't have the live linking between Pardot and Salesforce campaigns, it's an extra step. Then have to resume. And then that will run, and then it should take about 6 minutes for that data to come into Salesforce.